Thank you. Thank you very much for joining me. So this is our forward-looking statement. I'll be talking about what may happen in the future, so please take a moment to review this on our website. What is Mirasol Resources? We are an exploration and project generation company. We've been established for quite some time, being listed in 2005. We are currently very well funded. We've got $19 million of cash in the bank. Our current share price is about 51 cents, which gives us a market cap of just 26 million Canadian. So the enterprise value of the company is currently under 10 million Canadian. I'll spend the rest of this presentation trying to explain to you why I think that is quite cheap. Given our experience in South America, we've put together a good team of people, and we have offices in Santiago and Mendoza. Our key focus is both in Argentina and Chile. A quick look at our share structure. We got 54 million shares outstanding, so quite a tight share structure, as well as a well-distributed share ownership. Insiders own about 28% of the stock. What is our current strategy? Well, it's to develop and test high-quality exploration targets. And we go about that two ways. We can either self-fund exploration and drilling on high-quality targets where we have high-grade gold and silver at surface, as well as infrastructure advantage projects. But we also look for partners for larger-scale potential discoveries that have higher exploration risk and are more expensive to test. Our current portfolio, we have 5 partnerships in place in Chile, 2 with Newcrest Mining. They're a major gold producer out of Australia, 1 with First Quantum, a mid-tier copper producer, as well as 2 other deals, 1 with Austral and 1 with a private equity group called Mineria Activa. And then we're currently advancing 2 exploration projects ourselves, 1 in Chile called Sacha Marcelina, and 1 in Argentina called Los Amorellos. And below those more advanced projects, we have a large portfolio of what we call business development ready project, as well as pipeline projects. Taking a closer look at our portfolio in Chile, there are 3 main mineral belts in the northern part of Chile, going from older rocks onto younger rocks in the Middle-Pliocene belt. Our Los Amorellos project out here is a gold and silver high-grade target, and most of our partnership are up in the Middle-Pliocene belt. And then we also have a large portfolio in the Santa Cruz province of Argentina. That's a mining province. There are 7 operating mines in this part of the world, including Cerro Negro by Newmont Gold Corp, as well as Cerro Moro from Yamana, Cerro Vanguardia by Anglo Gold Ashanti. This is a very well-endowed part of the world, and most of our activity this year is going to be focused on this Sacha Marcelina project here. It's worth mentioning we have an existing silver resource at our Virginia project. Now moving on to more detail about our partner-funded exploration work. So the first project we'll talk about is Gorbea. That's a high sulfidation epithermal gold. It's a project that we have a partnership on with Newcrest Mining. It's quite a large land package, and it was in a previous deal with Yamana Gold. They've already spent $10 million and drilled 11,000 meters on this property. And we know there is an oxidized and mineralized HSC system. This system can be quite large. Similar discovery in the last few years includes Salares Norte by Goldfield. That's more than 3 million ounces. Or Alturas by Barrick Gold, and that's more than 7 million ounces of gold. the deal structure requires Newcrest to spend $19 million to earn a 51% interest on this project, and then they kind of get up to 75% by delivering a feasibility study. Then Mirasol has got the option of either retaining 25%, or we can convert part of that equity into a royalty. Newcrest has recently started a drill program. Their plan is to drill 3,000 meters until the end of the year. And the reason why I think it's quite exciting is because Yamana drilled this hole over here where we had 114 meters at above 1 gram per ton gold, which included 36 meters at 2.5 gram per ton gold. That mineralization is at the bottom of that hole. Yamana was looking for a near-surface ore body and decided to terminate the agreement without following up on this intersect. Newcrest is open to a deeper target, so they are now drilling in close proximity to that hole and going to be going much deeper. That hole was started being drilled last field season, but collapsed in mineralization. It collapsed after 10 meters at 1 gram, so they came back and twinned that hole this field season. And so we should be able to put results from this drill program toward the end of the year or early into 2020. Another project where we have a partnership with Newcrest. This is our Altazor project. Same type of target, a large-scale HSE gold target. And we spent the last year working on community relation permitting. That process is now pretty much complete. So Newcrest is planning on drilling 2,250 meters here this field season. This has never been drill tested, so it's quite exciting for us to finally get the drill bit turning here. The deal structure is similar to the deal for Gorbea, slightly lower spend to 51%, but here Mirasol has the option to get funded all the way to production, which means that without having to spend an extra dollar, we can get exposure to up to 20% of an operating asset if there is a major discovery made here. Just a quick look at a bit of geology. Here at Altazor, we got an extensive alteration over a very wide area as we got breccia mapped at surface over a 15-kilometer range. And these are vectoring toward CSAMT high resistivity areas. Newcrest really like these targets. They've been quite keen on getting drilling, so we look forward to announcing the result probably toward June to July next year. And moving on to a new deal we've just recently announced. That's for our Coronation project. We're still in Chile, high in the Andes, and just across the border from First Quantum Taca Taca development project. The deal structure is slightly different here. First Quantum is committed to doing 3,000 meters of drilling over the first 18 months, and then they got to do an additional 7,000 meters and deliver a pre-feasibility to earn 80%. We're just getting started here, so initial work will include some mapping, some surface sampling, some geophysics to better define drill targets. We're hopeful that they'll be able to get going before the end of this field season with the drilling. If that doesn't happen, that'll be at the beginning of the next field season. There are two main targets here on the property. On the east side, we have probably more of a HIC type alteration system, while on the eastern side, we've got more of a porphyry copper target. Another deal we've just recently announced in Chile, it's a memorandum of understanding for our Nord project. We've signed this option for this private equity group called Minera Activa. to earn 100% of this property by paying us $3 million in cash over 4 years, and then we retain a 2% royalty. The main reason for this transaction is because Minera Activa is currently developing this project over here. We held a gold outline ground around it. We've done some surface sampling. We didn't think this ground had sufficient evidence to be put together as a standalone drill target, and so we've consolidated the ground with them. They have a really clear understanding of the mineralization system in this part of the project, and they are going to be looking for potential parallel veins or structure on our ground. Indra, I will not talk about that in much detail. This is a deal we've signed with Austral last year. We've done surface work, took it all the way to a 6-hole drill program. Unfortunately, that did not encounter any mineralization. We're currently in discussion with Austral about what to do next, but I will not be surprised if they decide to move on. It's part of the exploration business, and it's why we're doing those kind of deal. The risk was on their dollars. Now, talking about some of our Mirasol-funded exploration work. Los Amorios, this is still a Chilean project, a different mineralization type. We're looking at a low sulfidation epithermal here. This is the package we put together in June of this year, and it's quite a unique opportunity. We have high-grade gold and silver at surface. We're near infrastructure, and there is no evidence of previous drilling. Based on those characteristics, we made the decision to move this project forward on a 100% basis. So we're currently permitting a trenching program to better understand the continuity of our high-grade sample received up to date. You'll see some quite substantial gold grade here out of our 900 rock chip sample picked up to date. The highest grade in gold is 330 gram. But what's more interesting is that more than about 20% of the sample had a grade of more than 1 gram per ton. A quick overview of where we are. We're next to an operating mine. This is El Salvador, operating by Codelco. So this project is well located. We got road access, we got power and water running through the property boundary. We are at much lower elevation, so we can work there year-round. A quick map showing some of the rock chip assays received to date. We see two really main target zone. On the southern part, we have a zone of high-grade epithermal vein and veinlets, which at surface are quite narrow. So this trenching program will allow us to expose bedrock and understand better how these grades hold up together. And on the northern, well, bit higher up north, we have this more vein or breccia stockwork zone, lower grades, but more of a potential for a bulk mining scenario. We've done recently a property-wide mag survey, which has allowed us to better understand the structural regime on the property. And we've seen that there is some strong correlation between the rock chip sample as well as now north-south structural trends. We're putting all this information together to define our trenching program, and based on the result of that trenching program, if we're successful, we'll be announcing a drill program probably in the second quarter of next year. One more project, we've done some work ourselves recently. It's the Sasha Marcelina property that's in Argentina now. And it's a property we've put together early this year. We are located about 100 kilometers south of Cerro Negro. That's a Newmont Gold Corp mine. And we have a very similar geologic and geomorphic setting here at Sasha Marcellina, where we have a large alteration footprint with multiple prospects in close proximity to a silica cap. Quick overview of the property package. The land we consolidated is around here in the middle part. So we picked up this large silica cap and the closer epithermal vein trends. And just focusing now on to this estancia trend, where we have had some success through our sampling program. This is a north-south structure hosting vein and vidlets over what we think is a 3-kilometer zone at the estancia south, where we are deeper in the we have a deeper level of erosion. We have high-grade gold going up to 27-gram gold. This is in a more permissive rock called the Chainaki Formation. Up in Estancia Central, we are higher in the system in the less permissive rock, but we still get some grade leakage. So the current exploration thinking is that as you go down in stratigraphy, you're getting closer to that more permissive rock. And so that's where the grade picks up. We've done some IP geophysics on this property, and we'll be releasing the result of that work in the short term. We're having 2 field visits this month, and hope that one of them will lead to a deal where we can have a partner take this project forward. This is a bit more complex geology, so it makes sense for us to partner this property out. I'm almost running out of time, so overall, in a company with an enterprise value of about $9 million, there is quite a lot going on right now, lots of potential result, which, if successful, will create a real re-rating of Mirasol going forward. Thank you very much.